in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Topic Thunder. Here from the Top 10, the show where we answer all your questions, comments, and thoughts about the world. Right, Matt?
Whatever you guys want us to discuss, just head over to patreon.com/the top 10. You can find the email address over there and you rifle it in. It could be a movie topic, TV, who knows? Sports seems to come up in waves.
True.
But it's whatever you want us to talk about. Sometimes you guys are too good at it and you give a question that's meaty and you really want to think about it for a chunk of time. And to you, I say kudos.
Kudos. Yeah.
It's whatever you guys want us to talk about it. And I believe it's your turn to start, sir.
Okay. Let's jump into it then. The first one is from Joe Ibarra. Joe. He says, hey ho, top 10 show. Hope I'm not pulling a Lemke, but I'm going to double wield here with two questions. First one is for both. Do you think there are some properties or types of film that are just not meant for the big screen? With Snake Eyes coming out, the trailer completely underwhelmed me. The first two G.I. Joe movies were absolutely horrible. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong, but Snake Eyes doesn't look as good either. I think you can say the same about the American Godzilla movies. The 2014 film was fine, but no Zilla film in the United States has ever received universal praise from the movie-going audience. Video game movies, too. The newest Mortal Kombat was so boring. I prefer the 1995 film. Sonic, you can say, is the best, but if you ask me, I thought it was meh. Second question is kind of a weird one. It might be peeling back the curtains a little bit, but I was just curious, when was the last time you saw each other in person? Not trying to be funny, but do you miss seeing each other face-to-face? It was sort of a bummer when I heard you two have never seen a movie together before. Maybe sometime this year we can maybe have a Patreon watch along with a movie voted on by the fans. Okay, so first question. Matt, do you think there are some properties? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Well, I was going to say it might be First Night, Last Night. Can't remember the name.
Yeah, Last Night, Transformers Last Night. That might be
that very well could be, to answer your second one. Because that's the easier to answer. Last time we saw each other was, I don't know, February of last year?
Yeah, before I moved. So October of last year was the last time we saw each other to kind of handle some business and whatever. And
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time
really
we actually saw each other. Yeah, really brief, yeah. Because we were packing up to go, I think, the next day or the second day after that, after we'd seen each other. So, yeah. So, no, we haven't seen each other since then. But yeah, we might be doing a watch along. That's
maybe,
for sure. Maybe it's possible.
The second one, so Snake Eyes looks basically like a continuation of the previous crap to me.
Wow, really? Okay.
The trailer doesn't excite me at all. Now, it obviously is clearly me bringing in baggage from the previous,
which is fair. Totally fair.
And I'm not judging it based solely on if it existed and there was nothing else, like when Iron Man came out.
Right.
And boom, there's just a Snake Eyes. And like, oh, they're trying to jumpstart. Oh, this is interesting. But because I don't know. The thing is, though, so sometimes in films that just aren't meant for the big screen, implying what? They shouldn't be made at all or should be made for TV?
I think it made for TV is what he's essentially implying, that they belong, that just work better on the small screen.
Do you think Snake Eyes would be a good TV show?
I think it'd be an interesting TV show. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it like the Marvel Netflix shows, you could totally do Snake Eyes in that style, like Daredevil was or Punisher was.
Yeah.
You could absolutely do it in that style. But if you did it like, for fucking ABC, I don't think it would be as good. I think you'd have to do it that other direction.
Yeah. You can't CW this one.
No. Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Well, because he's a freaking ninja.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be quiet assassination storylines until he does the big team up type of thing.
Right. I want that to be our next shirt. He's a freaking ninja, man.
He's a freaking ninja. So if you're going to do a standalone movie, there's not going to be a lot of explosions. He wasn't trained to do that.
Right.
It could be an interesting, yeah. If you say like the Daredevil, I could see that working.
Yeah, that seems more like. Obviously, people hated Iron Fist, but that was kind of the vein, the Asian stuff, training, all of that, martial arts, all of that could definitely be a part of the Snake Eyes story on the small screen. I actually liked the last trailer that came out. I didn't do a reaction for it, but I liked it, and I thought it was better than the first trailer. Gave us a little more of the relationship between the two guys and some more of the action sequences. Get a little more Baroness. Not as much with what's the other girl? Oh, sorry, I always forget her.
Didn't know Baroness was in this. I've only seen like 2 seconds of the first trailer.
Oh, okay. The new trailer has way more with Baroness in it. And oh God, I can't remember her on the G.I. Joe side of things now. Damn it.
I do like Baroness.
Yeah. But Samara Weaving is playing the other character from the G.I. Joe side of things. I know people are yelling at the screen right now or at their iPods or iPhones telling
They're
them.
not.
No, you don't think so? Okay.
No, I don't think it has quite the built-in fan base just yet. So there might be a couple, but they're not going to be a mass horde.
But it's a character from the animated series. I just can't remember. Scarlet. That's
Scarlet. Okay,
yeah,
so good side.
Yeah. So yeah, she'll be there, and Samara Weaving is playing Scarlet. So that'll be. She barely says anything in this last trailer, so they're keeping her under wraps a little bit.
Does Baroness have the accent?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that's got to either be fantastic or cartoonish. I don't really see anywhere in between. Yeah. I hope it's fantastic.
I hope so too. I like the look of it. We'll see if it.
I like Baroness from the show.
Right. But I reject Ibarra's foundational point here that do you think there are some properties, types of film that are just not meant for the big screen? No, I don't think that's true at all. I think if you have the right director, the right actors, the right producers, the right production team, you can bring anything to life. Do you doubt Denis Villeneuve taking on the G.I. Joe franchise? Would you really doubt that situation? I wouldn't. So when you have the right director behind it, I think anything is possible. I think you can bring anything to the big screen, and they have to understand the property, understand the foundation of the franchise, right? And we can bring up Michael Bay again. I know everybody argues about these Transformers films, but again, the quality you can argue, but they made $4.5 billion. So something about the foundational construction of those movies, appeal to enough fans of the Transformers movies to have them come back over and over and over again to watch each installment until last night when it kind of fell off. Yeah,
you'll have far more people. You were worried about the backlash from G.I. Joe fans. There aren't as many cinematically, whereas Transformers.
Right.
The whole world is against you on this.
Yeah. You really got to get it right with Transformers. You're right.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm saying against a negative stance on this. The whole world, because collectively, the whole world went and saw it.
Right.
So it's a resounding success. Now, if it didn't work for you, well, it doesn't really matter because it worked for how many millions upon millions of people that saw it in a theater.
Yeah.
I could slag off on Michael Bay, but there's no way you can say he's not successful. And he does. Yeah. He does have a style.
He's an auteur.
Yeah, he is. You may not like what he's rendering,
right?
But you can't deny that he comes in. He's got a presentation and a way and a style that you can say that is very Michael Bay.
Yep.
Without knowing that he's attached to it, and that says something.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, that's tough to do. You need to be indelible in some regard.
Yep. Okay. Anything more on this?
Yeah, I think some things are much better served on television because you can slowly build out a story within 2.5 hours is going to be difficult to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're not wrong. You get the right combination, anything's possible.
I feel like, but I get what he's trying to say, but I just don't believe anything is impossible if you've got the right people involved. That's
but at this point, like G.I. Joe seems like a shameless cash grab.
Maybe.
It does. The jump-started toy line, and
it's your IP. You've got to do something with your IP, Matt.
Yes, but when you've rendered modest success in the past with it, sure, at what point is the law of diminishing returns going to catch up with you here?
Yeah. I think it already has if you look at those last two films.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I would agree with that. But
I mean, they even like the second film were like, let's kill everybody off of the first film and put in The Rock and Bruce Willis. We're set. And I think is John M. Chu or James Wan the director of that film? So either way,
question I do not know.
Either way you go, you still have an incredible director behind the scenes. Let's see here, Retribution or Retaliation. That's what it is. Sorry, I thought it was Retribution. My bad. John M. Chu, who just did In the Heights, which whoever went to see it pretty much loved it. The critics loved it. And of course, Crazy Rich Asians. So
and let me ask you that as a Latino, where do you stand on the Rita Moreno stuff? Because I agree with her. I think primarily.
I think she. How can I say this correctly? I think she indulged her inner Latina or her outer Latina in the response, which we as Latinos know, like, we don't need to be politically correct amongst our own people. Like, we can say our truths. We all understand that. We're all passionate people. We get it. It's factored in, right?
Okay.
But I think she's a public figure. And so I think it was Colbert or wherever it was
on Colbert.
It was a Colbert.
I didn't see the clip. I just read a transcript of it.
Yeah. She said, like, they're making it. We can't have anything. We can't. And I get it. Because what she's saying basically is, let us have this. Let us get one film through the fucking door.
Celebrate the achievement that this is. And we'll move on. We'll have this conversation. I'm not against this conversation, but we don't need to have it right now.
Right. And I think the same thing always happens, right? The first woman, I mean, a lot of people were freaking out that Sarah Palin might become president if John McCain had won and died.
Yeah.
That she'd have been the first female president, not Hillary Clinton, right? And so that's not the right woman to be president. I'm sure there were people when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier who said he's not black enough. And I just saw the new documentary, which is stellar, by the way, about the Black Woodstock that happened on the same weekend in Harlem, but that the footage they thought had been lost until they found it in the basement of this guy's belongings. And they put it all together, and it's gorgeous. And the Fifth Dimension is on there, Marilyn McCoo. And she says, like, we were worried about going to Harlem because the big knock against us was that we weren't black enough, that our sound wasn't black enough. So when we went to Harlem and we played, and the fans and the people there loved us and embraced us, and she started crying. She said, it meant so much to me at that time because I am black and that is my community. And to have my community reject me hurt, And it was because their sound, but also they're light skinned. And there is a thing about that, even within the Latin community, clearly, because that's the genesis of this thing with Rita Moreno. So I would say this. I think Rita misspoke and she walked it back, or she spoke her truth, but she walked it back out of respect. But I think the better answer is to say, absolutely, you're valid to have this concern, and you're right, and they should have done a better job. That being said, though, let us break through with this.
Exactly.
Then we can open the door to others. But we didn't even break through with this. So you're not going to get your representation either way. So what the fuck? That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I just don't understand let's enjoy the fact that the door is open. It's cracked for us for once, as opposed to why didn't it open 100% and be like, because there's been resistance. Yeah. I'm not saying the resistance is correct.
Right, it isn't. You're right. But there has been resistance.
There's a reason we're talking about a crack.
Yeah.
So let's fucking celebrate that crack and build upon it, because society moves at a glacial pace, as unfortunate as that is. Yeah.
Some people are upset that I've said this, but it's my honest belief is that I think people just didn't go because they don't give a shit about Latin stories. I don't think they give a fuck about Latino story that they give a fuck about black stories nowadays. And we've got to get there. And so we got to have more opportunities to get.
Don't you think it's theater. I chalk that up to, let's see how West Side Story does, because musicals as a whole are tough to make into a financial success on the box office. You are appealing to a niche audience.
Yeah, but Greatest Showman made $450 million.
True, but they also had the star power of Hugh Jackman.
Right. So you look at this, if you compare it to West Side Story, that's Steven Spielberg. Like that
I
puts
know.
butts in seats.
But
So I don't
the
think it's a
stars of
direct
it-
101 comparison.
Yeah, but the star, and it's also a well-known cinematic property too.
Exactly.
Versus In the Heights,
They
which was a
know.
play that most people know as the play before Hamilton.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The musical for Hamilton. Yeah. But all the things that the pundits said, oh, it was marketing. I was like, bullshit. The marketing was great. Oh, they didn't have any stars. Bullshit. 1917 didn't have any fucking stars. They nominated for Best Picture. Oh,
It just didn't resonate.
It just, yeah, for whatever. I just think you can't just say, oh, it's musicals. People hate musicals. Bullshit. People go to musicals. I think it's overall just that for whatever reason, and I believe it's a little bit of maybe not racism, but maybe quiet racism in that, like, I don't want to see a Latino story about these people in Washington Heights. Like, I don't have it doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah,
I think that was a part of it.
I think but you're not wrong. I just think the fact that it's musical first and foremost,
yeah, it's tough. I get it.
It's an uphill battle.
Right.
Look at Cats.
Well, that was a shit film, dude. This is a fucking stellar film.
It had the pedigree and all the star power and got released at the time of year that had everything going for it, except apparently it is a dog shit movie.
Oh, yeah. I think musicals do not make money no matter who the stars are if they're shitty musicals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Musicals that are good and have a star have a way better chance. You know?
By the way, a donut truck just drove past my house, and they're called the Yeasty Boys. Or they were a bagel truck. I apologize. The Yeasty Boys. It's not bad.
Yeah, boy.
Anyway.
What would be the name of Yeasty Boys sandwiches? All based on songs from the Beastie Boys. That would be funny.
That would be good. I wonder if they take it that far.
Right.
And I doubt the Beasties care. The two surviving members at this point, but
I bet one of them has a stake in it. I bet.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe. You never know.
I mean, they originally came from the punk scene, so I'm pretty sure they would appreciate everything about that and go make your money and you do you.
Yeah.
As opposed to Metallica would try and sue to get them shut down.
Fucking Lars. Fucking Lars.
And I love Metallica, but you guys are way too litigious to be the outlaw metal badasses that you want to be. That's what kills me about Metallica. You had a chance, and then you rely on a lawyer just a little too much.
You sued that daycare. That's no good.
Just ridiculous.
All right. What's our next question, Matt?
Our next one comes from Tim Williams.
Nice.
And says, hey, Matt and John, hope you blokes are doing well. Last year, I asked the question, which actors would you use in Tarantino's next film? I thought I'd try this again, but with Nolan casts.
Ooh.
So again, the rules: pick one actor or actress from each group, pick one actor or actress that's never been in a Nolan film, and finally, tell me the era and what it's about.
Wow.
So here are your groupings, John, to choose from. Group 1, DiCaprio, McConaughey, Christian Bale. Group 2, Hathaway, Johansson, Chastain. Group 3, Tom Hardy, Hugh Jackman, John David Washington. Group 4, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Marion Cotillard, and Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah, Debicki.
Group 5, Michael Caine or Cillian Murphy. I'll let you guys pick one more actor, actress, not from these groups, but anyone who has been in a Nolan film before. Guy Pearce, Elliot Page, Liam Neeson, Carrie-Anne Moss. Thanks again. Thanks once again, Legends, for the excellent content. John, I'm writing this on the John Ritter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's slang for the shitter in Australia. Timothy is from Australia. Interesting. So what are we saying? We got to pick one from each category? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, basically pick one from.
All right.
And then tell the era and what it's about. So group 1, who you taking? DiCaprio, McConaughey, Bale.
I'll take DiCaprio.
Okay. All right. Well, how about this? Then I'll take somebody else in the next grouping. Yep. I'll take first choice, and we'll just go
Sounds
back.
Sounds good. Little snake draft. I like it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Although you're picking first on. How about we do this? Mm-hmm. I do the next first on the next two, and then you do the next first on the next two after that.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
All right. So you took DiCaprio in a Chris Nolan film. DiCaprio's a good one.
Yeah. You choose between McConaughey and Bale. Tough choice.
I think I'll go McConaughey.
Okay. That interstellar love is deep.
Then group 2, I'm going to go Chastain.
Okay. Bastard.
So who do you want? Anne Hathaway or Scarlett Johansson?
I'm going to take Hathaway.
Okay. All right. So then I get first pick again. That way we each have one of the male and female. Tom Hardy. I think that's an easy one.
You're a son of a bitch. You know that? You're taking all my fucking choices. I see why you did this. So you take the two best out of these two groups.
I would have taken DiCaprio.
All right. I'm going to take Hugh Jackman then.
All right. So group 4, your choice. Maggie Gyllenhaal, Cotillard, or Debicki?
I take Cotillard.
It's not a bad choice. They have worked together.
Yep.
You've seen the results of that.
Yep.
As much as I like Debicki, I'm going to go Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. I think you've got more possibilities with Maggie Gyllenhaal than you do with Elizabeth Debicki. So I think that's a great choice.
Yes.
And then group 5.
Your choice. So it's Michael Caine or Killian/Cillian, if you really want to. Murphy.
I think I would take Michael Caine because what's a Nolan film without Michael Caine?
Beautiful. I wanted Killian, so that works out for me.
Yeah.
All right. So your cast is.
Did I just remake Inception? I think I just remade Inception. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you got DiCaprio, Hathaway. Then you got Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Cotillard and Michael Caine.
Okay.
And I have McConaughey, Chastain, Hardy, Gyllenhaal, and Cillian Murphy.
Okay. And we get one more actor or actress.
So anyone that's been in a Nolan film before, although we already had some already been in Nolan films, but Guy Pearce, Elliot Page, Liam Neeson, Carrie Ann Moss.
All right. These are all your choices. What's your choice this time?
Yeah. I'm trying to I'm looking at my cast as a whole.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out who would go best in that. Well, I can already tell you it's not Elliot Page because.
Well, it could be anyone from a Nolan film. Doesn't have to be these 4.
I need to think of who are some of our other options we got going here.
David Oyelowo. Remember, he's the astronaut in Interstellar. Matt Damon is in Interstellar.
Yeah, you got Matt Damon.
Inception, Ken Watanabe.
Ooh, that's a good one. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Henry Thomas. Then what's the other ones that he's got?
Well, I just thought of Memento, but we already have those on there. Guy Pearce plus Carrie Ann Moss.
Dunkirk has Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
All right.
Not for this cast.
So does Tenet. Robert Pattinson.
Sure. Robert Pattinson.
What else? Joey Pants, who's in Memento.
I am intrigued to see how that Batman comes out.
I like the trailer so far.
I haven't seen it. I like all the stylistic choices that I've seen.
Yeah.
So at least they have a vision for it, and I like that. All right. Well, amongst all of those, and thank you for listing all of those. My brain didn't want to seem to work today. I'm just going to go with first choice, best choice, kind of. This is the first one that jumped out amongst all those, which is Liam Neeson.
Okay, Liam Neeson. Okay, so what do I have again? Let me see here. I got
every person that's ever been Robert Pattinson
and Hathaway. No, I'm looking at my cast. DiCaprio and Hathaway, Hugh Jackman, Cotillard, Michael Caine, and
I didn't have the old white guy. Got to get that in.
Ooh, I'll take Heath Ledger from Dark Knight.
It's a good choice. It is a good choice.
All right, so now we get what's it? So what do you have to figure out the time?
Yeah. Well, basically, what is the movie going to be?
Okay.
So if you want to make it a period piece or something,
mine's a time travel movie.
No,
with DiCaprio,
Chris Nolan. What?
Timey-wimey. Hal and Hardy are a couple. Oh no. No, Hathaway is the scientist who's come up with the technology to send DiCaprio back in time.
Okay.
And she's sending him to the Titanic. Hugh Jackman and Marion Cotillard are a couple on the Titanic. Michael Caine is the captain of the ship, and Heath Ledger
is Billy Zane.
is
That's all you're doing is recasting fucking the Titanic. You had me until we're sending him back to Titanic. So then these two are a couple.
Heath Ledger is a rival time traveler who
wants to sink the ship?
Wants to sink the ship because to him he is about, as we're seeing, I don't know if you're watching Loki, but he's about preserving the original timeline.
And he's trying to stop a variant.
Right. And exactly. And Hathaway wants to her great grandparents to live or something like that because she thinks it'll turn her life around or turn something around or save her parents in some way or grandparents and parents in some way. So that's her drive and motivation. But Heath Ledger is a rival person. Maybe he breaks into that lab, knocks her out, and escapes into the time machine himself to track down DiCaprio. So it's DiCaprio versus Ledger on the Titanic to either signal that the iceberg is there or let it sink. So there you go. But Hathaway's still back there doing her thing. So she's going to be back. And maybe she even, in a desperate attempt to save her parents, jumps into the time machine herself. So now all three of them are on the Titanic. And we're having ourselves a hell of a battle all the way through this thing. And DiCaprio sees himself with Kate Winslet on the ship.
Okay. Well, I mean, under this logic, then, so
what do you got?
So Matthew McConaughey.
Well, this is your movie, right? You can make up whatever
travels back in time.
Oh, you're going to do a time one too? All right.
To high school back in Texas.
Nice.
And then Jessica Chastain plays the redhead from Dazed and Confused. And Tom Hardy plays the guy that was in
all right.
Saving Private Ryan.
I get your point. All right, I'll make a change. Okay, I'll put it on the Hindenburg then.
It's the same thing, but okay. It's the same thing, but okay, fine. I don't know that the Hindenburg had as large a passenger pool, so maybe they're on the ground, some of these people.
There were a lot of people in Last Crusade on the Hindenburg, so. Oh, was that just a regular airship?
That was just a regular blimp.
Okay.
I do like the idea, so cherry picking from Loki and making them like time authority individuals. That works. That's a Chris Nolan film done.
Oh, totally.
Lickety split. So they're basically trying to do the same thing. And now you just have, McConaughey in the Owen Wilson role. But
wow.
A heisty type of, a time heisty type of thing it's a Nolan staple. Mm-hmm. Look at Tenet, look at Inception.
Nolan's version of Time Cop is what we're talking about.
Let's see. What else can we take Nolan's formula and apply it to?
Well, I mean, The Prestige is not about time. That's about messing with death.
Technically, Memento's kind of about time.
Yes, it is.
And Interstellar's most definitely about time.
That it is.
And obviously, Tenet, and we already discussed.
Dunkirk isn't. Dunkirk's all about just the war.
True.
In Dunkirk. So.
But it's a much rarer occurrence. He deals with time quite a bit.
True.
So what could you do? So the last one was people trying to take possession and control of time and then to end all of time.
Okay.
And then before that, it was just the effects of time.
Right.
So what about the manipulation of time? What about you want to speed things up? So you're only going forward instead of going backward and whatnot.
Wow.
So
okay.
I don't have much beyond that, but I'm just trying to flip the script on. So how could you get away with a crime or prevent a crime if it's in the future and you don't know that it's happened yet?
That's Minority Report, isn't it? You're talking Minority Report.
That's precogs though. So there was some sort of other. Okay. What if you could find a grounded way to come up with that?
Well, if she's got a time machine, what if she's from the future and brings the technology back with her and then has to convince DiCaprio what it is? Heath Ledger is actually the other time person. And so he comes back chasing her, but then realizes he has to chase both of them in this whole situation. Kind of like Time After Time, the old H.G. Wells film with Malcolm McDowell and David Warner and Mary Steenburgen. Yeah.
Sure. I also like the idea of, because it seems like it could be very Nolan-esque, there's only one way to check if your timeline is deviated. And it's some archaic, but they had to print something very particular and special and only you know about it type of thing. So if it deviates from the expectation of what it should be, you know something in the future has happened.
Yep. Oh, I like that.
So, something like that. And then he'll over-explain it and it becomes
totally
like quantum mechanics and entanglement. So it's like it was de-entangled. We de-entangled something that wasn't possible. I don't know.
It'll be 2 hours and 45 minutes. Absolutely.
Anyway, so we'll take our co-writing credit right now. And I think I would accept a passive royalty.
I'll take executive producer, but I'll never be on set. Just pay me my money and my residuals, and I'm fine. My royalties, and I'm fine.
I like how you
make the film. You
came in and just said, you know what? I'll just take that throne over there. So that's cool, right?
But I won't mess with you. I'm just going to sit in the throne and play on my phone the whole time. You go make the movie you want to make.
Yeah. Well,
that's the exchange.
Considering I'm the one that started this idea, now suddenly.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that so you as to my idea were forced to come up with your idea.
Yes,
so
I did.
Without my inspiration, you would have never come up with the idea. So.
Oh, okay, sure. This gets back to a conversation of apparently we created fire.
Here's my team of 50
We did not land on the moon. We did not make the Dark Knight. Some did, and the rest experienced what that was like.
All right, let's wrap it up there, Matt. Thank you very much, Timothy. Appreciate your question. Hope you enjoyed our answers. Hope all of you enjoyed our answers and had some fun. This is the kind of responses you can get from Topic Thunder. Please come and be a patron, patreon.com/the-top10. See all the stuff we're doing there and everything we got going on. And, now is the time to support us more than ever. So please keep spreading the gospel of the top 10 as people are coming back to work now, maybe get a little more expendable income. Maybe they start looking at the top 10 again, start donating, start supporting us. So if you haven't supported us and you're back at work and you've got a few bucks lying around every month, please support what we're making and what we're doing here, the top 10. We haven't missed a beat pre, during, and post-COVID. If we aren't post-COVID, we've been delivering shows to you every week, multiple shows for your enjoyment. So please show your support and gratefulness or gratitude back to us by supporting us on the Patreon. That's my pitch, Matt.
Please do. It means the world to us because it's helped us through this past year and 3-4 months, which have sucked. And to have you guys still supporting us after this, long winter, so to speak, means a tremendous amount to both of us. And our thanks to everybody that does. We hope you enjoy the perks that we try and offer up, and it's worthwhile for you. And we're here for it every week, thanks to you guys. And that is it for me on the show this week. You can follow me at Matt Nost, but hit us up at Top 10 Show on Twitter or on Instagram and YouTube. It is /the Top 10 Podcast with the number 10.
There you go. And you can always follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. All right, you all take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.